Las Vegas, good morning. It's 8:06, May 2nd, and we are totally live through Facebook. If you guys are watching, thank you for watching. You're probably at your office or at home or just anywhere you are on your phone and you're tuning in. Thank you very much. We're here live. If you guys have any questions, we're here to help. Up to date in real estate. Yesenia, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, and yourself?
Good. Can't complain.
I know we can't complain. We're alive. We're good. Business is great. Helping families is always great. So we're here to our life. Now, if you guys have any questions and you're tuning in on Facebook, please let us know. You're more than welcome to ask us anything. I would say related to real estate, but you can ask us anything you want. So
you didn't tag me.
So, how is real estate right now in the lending process?
It is good. It is good.
One of the questions I asked on there was, if you want to buy, what should you do?
I mean, if you've made up your mind, you made up your decision that you want to buy, it is very important for you to first seek the assistance of a loan officer, because that is the first item that you need to make sure that you address. You need to make sure that you are going to qualify for that home loan. If you don't have a loan, then there is no way you're going to buy that home unless you have cash to purchase the property. So it is very important to make sure that you do seek the assistance of a loan officer. And it's not hard to qualify. I mean, honestly, the process is pretty simple. It's pretty easy. It's basic. The majority of the people, if you are a wage earner, we need your W-2s, we need your current paychecks, we need current bank statements and your driver's license to start the process. Of course, you have to complete a loan application and we have to review your credit. Now, it is very important to make sure that you are completely open with your loan officer, that you do inform your loan officer of everything that you have going on. It could be something so simple, Alfredo, as having a car payment under someone else's name, but you're paying that out of your bank account every single month. Yeah. It could be something so simple as, you have child support liens, different things like that could actually affect you when you're trying to qualify for your home loan. So if you are honest and you are completely open with your loan officer, you should have no surprises at the end. And the reason why it's so important to be honest from the get-go is because now you're jeopardizing your earnest money deposit. Now you've paid for an appraisal. Now you've paid for a home inspection. And if something comes up at the end, that, trust me, 90% of the time it does come out, you put all that at risk that you could lose that because we won't be able to close your home loan.
Yes, and that's something that's very important. Now, for those of you that are renting, let's put it that way. If you're renting and your lease is up between 3 to 6 months, okay, yes, it's not a bad idea to start digging in to see if I'm eligible to buy.
I think it's a great idea to start, mainly because I would say probably 70% of the people that we work with have something, one way or another, to work on their credit. Okay. Most people do have issues on their credit that they do have to take care of in order to be able to purchase a property, or even to be able to acquire a better interest rate. In the case of conventional loans, the credit score, it's a big factor with the mortgage insurance. That's what's going to determine. It's not like with FHA. FHA gives everybody the same percentage, the same MI factor.
And that can influence your payment.
Correct. On a conventional loan for FHA, right, like I said, everybody gets the same factor, which the standard is 0.85%. But if you're doing a conventional loan, that MI factor, which affects your payment drastically, is based on your credit score.
It is, and that's something that you have to work on. Now, most of the times, we had some clients where you tell them, you got to do this on your credit. It'll take 3 to 4 months or whatever, how long it will take. And then we call them like every couple of months or every month just to see how they're doing, see if they're doing the homework. And unfortunately and sadly, I would say, some people just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's sad.
It is sad because, this is the key to get you into your new home.
Well, especially when, like, for example, when it's a client that has simple things to do on their credit. And okay, so I have a client right now that their credit score is in the low 400s. Okay. And I pretty much qualified this client a year ago to purchase a property. And he never purchased the property. For whatever reason, the realtor, well, in this case, were helping him look for properties. And he would always he wasn't motivated enough.
He didn't find anything he wanted.
He never found anything that he liked. He never had time. He's a truck driver. Never had time. So a year goes by and calls me and says, "Hey, I want to try it again." Okay, great. Let's schedule an appointment. Blah blah blah. And of course, he's always on the road, so that's fine. He emailed us all his paperwork. I pulled the credit. It's in the low 400s.
Wow.
And I'm like, what happened from last year to this year? Last year, his credit score was above 700. So I started looking at the credit report and had all these late payments, and didn't have any positive trade lines at this time. And of course, I'm looking at his paperwork, and I'm like, how does a person that has over $50,000 in their bank account allow their credit?
Like you said, he's probably traveling all the time, and when we were working with him, he never had time to, he never made the time for this. Yes. So, it wasn't his priority, I guess.
Auto pay is a beautiful thing for people that cannot commit to, paying their bills on a monthly basis, sitting down. You either have auto pay where they're automatically take it out of your bank account, or most banks offer what's bank online, where the bank actually sends the payments on your behalf every single month. So long story short, I spoke to him. It looks like this time he is motivated. I said, okay, based on your credit report, based on the system that we use, this is what you have to do. And this was yesterday morning that I spoke to him. By the afternoon, he called me and says, done.
It's already taken care of.
Everything was taken care of. So I'm hoping that this time around he is motivated to purchase a property. And like I told him, look, the more that you continue to wait, the more expensive. Well, not the more hard, but
he wants something very specific.
Exactly.
And it's hard to get with the price that he was qualified.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The longer he continues to wait, I said you're going to end up paying more and more for that property. And if your income's not increasing, then guess what? Your chances of purchasing that specific property that you want in that specific area are going to be further and out of your reach.
It is, and it is hard. And sometimes, it's hard to match somebody to a house.
Yeah.
Because in this case, it was very specific as to the lot that he wanted, the access that he wanted, and the location that he wanted. There was no way around it. It had to be that, and there was just none.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I keep telling people, look, if you don't like anything right now, you're not going to like anything next year.
Yeah.
And you know what? You're going to have to wait for another 3-4 years so you can buy because the way the market is going. Exactly. So,
Well, it's sad. Like I said, the first step here is always to seek the assistance of a loan officer to make sure that you qualify. Just yesterday, we had an appointment with a client that him and his wife came in. They were very happy, motivated, and the first thing that they told me was, we want to leave here today with some good news. And I said, okay. I said, well, hopefully if everything's in order, you should be getting good news. And then he's like, well, last year we tried to qualify and we didn't qualify because of our taxes, but this year we filed our taxes correctly and we're good to go because my wife is self-employed. I was like, great. Okay, so we started going through the paperwork, right? And that's one of the biggest mistakes that people make. When you are self-employed, you should always seek the assistance of your loan officer before you file those taxes. I don't understand what rules and regulations tax professionals have to, go by. But it is very sad when I see numerous clients that do not qualify because of the way that their taxes were prepared. So this client was very happy thinking, oh, we did the job right this time. We did our taxes correctly. We're good to go. So we sit down, and when you're self-employed, we have to analyze your last 2 years of the tax returns, right? So we look at the tax returns for 2017. And she does like massage, spas and massage, all that's the same field, right? So in the tax return for 2017, great, she made about $68,000, but after all the write-offs, she only ended up with an income of $3,200 for 2017. So they learn from their mistake, okay? Then come 2018, according to what they thought was accurate, they have their tax return. So I look at the tax return for 2018, and to my surprise, again, same business. She does spas, she does, massages, whatever. So there was a time frame that she actually was like a contractor for a spa here in town, and they would hire her when they needed her because she pretty much told them that she couldn't work for them full time. Long story short, they issued her a 1099. Okay, and then she did a couple little jobs for different spots here in town. So they issued her 1099, and then she has her regular cash flow for jobs that she does on a monthly basis. So what happens here is the tax preparer filed 3 different Schedule Cs. One for this 1099, one for this 1099, and then put the cash in a separate category. At the end of the day, after everything was said and done, now it looks like she works for 3 different jobs and not just one, because each 1099 had the name of that business. So when you're trying to qualify for a home loan, you need to have a 2-year working history being self-employed. So has she just had one Schedule C for each year as spa or whatever, then you get that, and there's a sheet that we have to follow, a cheat sheet, and to calculate her income. Well, now it looks like she has 3 different jobs that she's doing, when in reality it's just one, and the cash income flow that she has was put on the wrong line, so we can't even use that in her favor. So at the end of the day, once again, for 2018, she only has income that we can use. It was only about $8,000.
Okay, she's still in the same boat.
So she's still in the same boat. So it's very important that you do. I always tell clients, look, have your taxes prepared. Let us review them. Just to make sure that you are doing things correctly, especially like the people that have rental properties. All that can really affect you qualifying for a home loan if your taxes aren't filed correctly.
Yes, and that's some of the value that, a lender like Yesenia or an agent, well, I mean, I don't review taxes and stuff, but, that's a value that, in this case, you can bring to the table to anyone that's thinking of making the move to purchase their own home.
Yes.
And that's what we always say is you have to check first.
Yes.
You have to talk to a lender and find out what it is that I need to do in order to buy my own home. One, it doesn't cost you anything to ask.
Exactly.
You won't get any worse than you are.
Exactly.
If anything, you'll get better.
The situation's going to be the same or better.
Yes, you might have to do some legwork to find your taxes and find your bank statements and all this. But the question is it worth it?
Which you should know where you have all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if you have everything online, it should be easy to get, right? But the big question is it worth it?
It is worth it.
Is it worth it? And then, obviously, I just noted Kathy showed up there. Kathy, say hi to Kathy Freeman for me there. It is worth it.
Good morning, Kathy.
Good morning, Kathy. It is worth it because you're buying your own home. Yes. So you're doing a little bit of legwork to buy your own home. Now, you can go work 8 hours somewhere to get a paycheck. Why not spend a couple hours getting your documents to get your own home?
Well, it's all about priorities. And unfortunately, a lot of people are procrastinators where they keep on saying, I'll do it tomorrow, and they never get to it. So, yes, it is very important. Take the time. It's not hard to qualify for a home loan. Like you said it earlier today, it's the same process that you're going to have to go by nowadays to be able to qualify to rent a property.
It is. Now, there's people that, they get home and they have these little envelopes. They put their paychecks all the time on there. Yes. So whenever they need one, they know where they're at.
Yes.
A lot of people get them online, through email, because now you get a direct deposit. Yes. So, save your emails, put them in a little separate box. Yeah. Maybe you can put it in an email. There's ways to organize, and I guess that's something that we can talk in another show, how to organize yourself for future reference.
Yes.
And, buying a home, it should be easy.
It's not that it should be easy. It is easy.
It's
not hard, and it shouldn't be stressful as long as you follow everything that you're supposed to do. Yeah. Like we said earlier, the first point of contact here that you should be making is making sure that you're qualified for the home loan, because if you don't have a home loan, there's no way you're going to buy this property.
Right.
And in our office, and we always give you as the agent a copy, we have a sheet that we've created that we talk to the clients about what they're not supposed to do. And we make them sign this sheet that we've explained this to them. We give the client a copy, and we give you as the agent a copy of what we spoke to the client about. We pretty much gave them the estimated monthly payment, how much they're going to need out of their pocket to close, what is the potential of the seller contribution that they can request, if they're qualifying for down payment assistance, what agency they're using. I mean, everything it's in their fingertips,
It is.
It's easy. And again, it's not hard to qualify for a home loan. And nowadays with, everything being online, it's so much easier as well, because people that do not have the time to come to the office, We could do everything directly via email. We could do everything online. It's not hard to get the process started.
Yeah, and if you're paying somewhere between $1,000 to $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 of rent or more, I don't see why you shouldn't be able to buy a home. I mean, other than maybe credit. But that's something that you can fix.
And that's something that you should have a game plan for.
Yeah.
I mean, are you gonna sit here and rent for the rest of your life just because you don't want to take the time to work on your credit?
And we had situations like that.
We have.
You know?
And there's clients that just have bad credit. It's understandable. Guess what? Everybody deserves a second chance. Everybody deserves a new start. I have a client right now that I do believe she is probably the lowest credit score that I've seen. Okay. It was very, very low. And I pretty much spoke to her and I kind of coached her and I said, look, you could either do this and it's going to take some time, but you need to focus and do what I'm telling you to do. And it's going to take some time, but we will get you there. And of course, you know, sometimes people want things the easier way than others. So what did she do? I called her yesterday to find out how she's doing. And she's like, well, we filed for bankruptcy.
Okay, so 2 years.
Okay, so that's fine. If that's what you have to do to get yourself, you know, a fresh start, that's fine. It's on you. We're not attorneys. We cannot coach you and tell them if that's the best solution for you to file for bankruptcy or not. But if that's what you're doing, great. You know, we'll have to wait for 2 years. And what I always tell clients, you know, while you're still in the middle of the bankruptcy, as soon as you get that discharge and do whatever it has to do, call me so that we can coach you and tell you how to reestablish your credit.
Yes, and that's something very important. I mean, you have to have a plan.
Yes.
You can't just go about renting and not wonder, like, you know, what if I can own my home? I mean, you have to set a plan. You know what, I'm going to be renting for 1 year. You know, during that time frame, I'm going to fix my credit. So by the term of my lease, I should be able to buy. And that's something that we can help you with. You know, like Yesenia said, we can help you, coaching you on the credit, make sure that you're credit ready. You know, we'll look at the income and see where you're at, so that way you have an idea of where you're going to be and what you can get at the time when you qualify.
Exactly.
And, you know, having a home is just a whole different story.
It is. I mean, you don't live under other people's rules.
Yes.
You live under your own rules.
The HOA.
Well, if you have an HOA, that's a different story. But for the most part, you know, you can do whatever you want inside your house. You don't have to worry about asking for permission. I mean, being a homeowner, it's to me, it's beautiful. And you know what? I've been a homeowner for so many years now that I cannot even imagine having to go out somewhere and to have to rent.
And you know, and studies show that obviously it creates a better relationship at home within the family if you own your home. So that's also an incentive for your kids and your family to be happy, obviously, in your own home.
Correct.
Now, right now the rates are still low.
They're still low, and there was a rate decision yesterday made.
Okay.
And
they're not raising.
They're not going to raise them at the moment. They're going to maintain them how they are. So that's just another point in your guys' favor to take advantage of the market. You know, homes are still accessible price wise. There's a lot of down payment assistance programs out there. The rates are maintaining as they have been, and not only that, but to top it off, we have a lot of sellers that are actually helping with closing costs at this moment. So it is very easy, and you have a high percentage of chances that you will be able to purchase a property only coming in with your down payment.
And if you're one of those persons that are thinking, well, I need like $20,000 to buy my house.
Yeah.
That may not be the case.
Exactly. We have FHA with a 3.5% down, or we have conventional loans, you know, with a 3% down, 5% down. It just depends. A lot of people also believe that because they already own a home and they're trying to buy a second home, I don't know why they believe that they think that they have to come in with 20% down, which is incorrect.
You know what? I had some calls before. I mean, not so much now, but you know, a couple months back or something. I had a call with the client. It wasn't a client; it was a customer. He called and wondered about buying a house, and you know, we kind of gave him the information about buying, asked him the questions, and we sent them over to you at that point. But then, you know, sometimes the customers at that point, they just stop calling back, or they don't want to deal with it. And then one day I caught him on the phone and I asked him, I said, hey, you know, what happened? And then he says, well, I'm going to save money to buy my house. And I'm like, okay, so you did talk to Yesenia? And he's like, no. I said, okay, so how do you know how much money you need? And he was like, well, I'm just going to save to buy the house. I'm like, yeah, but what house? Like, what price or what? I mean, I'm trying to figure out how does he figure out how much money he's gonna need.
What are you basing your information off of?
And obviously, but no, he goes, I'm just gonna save some money and then try. I'm like, look, sometimes you don't even need the money.
Yes.
I mean, it depends. I mean, you might be able to get down payment assistance, and you might be able to get closing costs from the seller. There, you need what, $1,000, maybe $2,000.
I mean, at the end
in different cases.
At the end of the day, I always tell a client, look, if you're going to purchase a property, you should really have at least $3,000 in your bank account. And the reason why I say that is because whether you're going to use that money or not at the end and you're going to get it refunded at the end, you need to have enough money for the earnest money deposit check, which very rarely it's under $1,000.
Right.
Very rarely. Okay, so I always tell clients you need to have money for your earnest money deposit. Then you need to have money for the home inspection, and you need to have money for the appraisal. So I think a $3,000 is something that we would strongly recommend for people to have in their bank accounts. But it's not very hard to do either. I mean, if you don't have it at this moment, guess what? While you're going through the process of being qualified and while you're looking for the property, you could save that money with your paychecks, different ways around it. But it's all about having a game plan. Like, for example, the client that we were speaking about earlier, that the taxes were filed incorrectly, she is married, so the husband is a W-2 employee. So at this moment, they're not going to be able to qualify for something big because they wanted a $300,000 home. But after speaking to them, they are going to focus right now on buying a property. About 150 is what they qualify for at the moment. They're going to live there for a whole year, work on making sure that their taxes are filed correctly next year, and then be able to qualify a $300,000.
Yeah, so it's all about a plan. It's to have a plan about buying your home, what to do in order to be able to purchase my home. Do I qualify or do I not? These are questions that you need to ask yourself, because if you're renting, there's no reason why you should keep renting. No, I mean,
there's not.
Everything is accessible right now, to be honest with you. There's so much opportunity right now. This is the time. So, the news everywhere says this is going to be a good year for real estate. Why not be a good year for you?
Exactly. Make it a good year for you.
So make it a good year. So time's running out. If they want to call you.
Yes, if anybody has any questions, if you guys want to call me, my office line is 702-310-6396. Again, 702-310-6396.
Or you can call my office, 702-337-3096, 702-337-3096. I'll be more than happy to help you. Federal Rosales with Source Realty and
Yesenia Alfaro with Residential Mortgage Services.
We'll see you guys next week.
Tuesday,
bye.
7:30.